year's president of John Hay. All of us of John Hay would like to welcome our visiting students and their families to our chapel. We meet here as a community twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday, to listen to our peers, our teachers, and occasionally invited guests speak about something meaningful to them. The students you saw standing by the pews today are members of the John Hay Society, a student group that assists with chapel services, participates in community service programs, and raises funds for a variety of causes we like to highlight over the course of the year. Our weekly chapels become a time to pause and reflect in our busy days here at school. We listen to stories from our peers, often laugh, sometimes tear up, but always remind ourselves of the human journey we share. Who knows? Perhaps someday we may be listening to one of you up here, giving a chapel talk of your own. I hope you enjoy Isabel's talk today, and again, welcome.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal. Ron Burgundy.
To laugh at yourself is to love yourself. Mickey Mouse. Good morning. My name is Isabel from Bargen-Burke, and I'm a sixth-form boarder from New York City. When I look out at all of you visiting Westminster today, I am taken back to my own application experience. I was so nervous about making new friends and not fitting in when I first came to Westy, which led me to be very timid when I first arrived. I didn't talk much. I waited for others to approach me. I am an extrovert, but people wouldn't have known that my freshman fall. But eventually, I got over being shy. I started buying into Westy, or drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will. It's tiring to be someone you're not. Turns out, I was not meant for the sidelines. Well, perhaps the athletic sidelines, but not the sidelines of life. I decided I had to get involved. I joined a bunch of clubs, such as the All Is One Feminist Alliance, Grillin' and Chillin', and Dramat. Over the next 3 years, I started taking risks academically, like taking AP Comp Sci as a sophomore. Turns out that was hard. On the sports field, trying out for varsity tennis, shout out to Miss Heckman, and in the theater, when I sang a solo in front of the whole school in our winter musical Pivot. Most importantly, along the way, I learned to laugh at my failures and to rejoice in my successes. At Westy, for me, some of my most fond memories now came from painful experiences at the time. These memories have all stemmed from taking risks, failing miserably, embarrassing myself, and then laughing at the whole thing later. I have learned that laughter is truly the best medicine. You must simply decide to laugh about these things because it's a decision, it's a choice. Either we embrace the humor or we are crushed by the alternative. I'm not saying I don't learn from my mistakes. I'm saying move on. Others take their cue from you. There is one time freshman year that really stands out. I was Instagram stalking our gorgeous former head prefect, Tim Sanford, and my friend Alex accidentally liked his photo from 4 years back, from my account. After that, he definitely looked at me strangely, but hey, what can you do? Laugh, I guess. And there was that time, fourth form year, when I flashed my entire theater class when I was doing a skit, and my entire dress just fell off. Sorry about that, Mr. Rashid. decided to go on the varsity tennis trip to Florida over spring break. This was a mistake. I was so bad at tennis and exercise in general that instead of practicing with the team, I was mandated to practice with the 8-year-olds. Who were, by the way, totally better than I was. One 8-year-old ended up giving me such a hard time about a forehand shot that I had missed when we were playing a match that I sobbed in the bathroom for 10 minutes. And yes, I'll admit, I had a flair for the dramatic even then. Later on that same trip, we ended up going on an excursion to a go-kart place. On the way there, the radio in the shuttle bus didn't work, and there was only one CD that played. But unfortunately, it was very scratched, so only one song worked. Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver played 17 times in a row. What made it worse was that everyone on the team knew and loved the song, except for me, and they would sing louder every time it played, which was 17 times. Even today, the Blue Ridge Mountains make me shiver. I felt like I was in my own personal hell. And when we finally returned to campus, I was promptly cut to thirds. To the place I belong. Thirds tennis was co-ed at the time. So when I tripped over a branch and winded myself, half the varsity boys lacrosse team saw. Great! And finally, who could forget about the time I had a tooth infection? It was the day after formal in May, close to the last week of school, and I woke up with my mouth and half of my face extremely swollen. A teacher who saw me gasped and asked if I had been punched, to which I replied, "You should have seen the other guy." Yet, instead of being insecure about my frankly terrifying and hideous elephant man appearance, I was quick to make fun of myself, deciding to Photoshop my face onto the body of a hippo. So, it would seem that I've had a fair share of embarrassing moments, but I'm still standing. I've decided that I like to be involved, to use my voice, and if someone has a laugh at my expense, so be it. The only important thing is to keep on keeping on. And the nurturing and loving Westminster community and the lifelong friends that I have made here have allowed me to do just that. To summarize the advice I give to visitors, parents, and fellow Marlets is 1. To take risks. Get involved in as many clubs as you can. Find your passions, like I did with Dramat and the Feminist Alliance. 2. Laugh at yourself when you fail. Don't get discouraged. 3. Try to look for the silver linings in every situation. You have a choice to do so, and you'll be happier if you do. 4. Embarrassing yourself can lead to some great stories. I would know. 5. Most importantly, toss me a follow on Instagram at Isabel BBB. Got you. That's me. While the end of my 4 years at Westy is fast approaching, I reflect on all the laughs, tears, and love shared within the community I will miss so much. To the seniors, we have grown up together, and I will always cherish our time here. To all of the prospective students and their families, I wish you all the best in this new chapter. Westminster is a place where you will thrive. Westminster is a place where you will make lifelong friends. And finally, Westminster is a place where if you faceplant walking out of chapel, just laugh it off and know a hand will always be there to help you up. Thank you.